Y'all can hear it? Why is my cat working? Hold on. Alright, bet. AI views.
Nights at Walmart are never the same as the last. Sometimes, my shift is so slow and boring that I'm struggling to stay awake. Other nights, it's a non-stop barrage of helpless customers, loiterers, shoplifters, and
You should put your picture thing on top, right?
crackheads. The only thing that makes it any easier are my coworkers. Not long ago, an especially good friend of mine still worked here. Josie was the best part of any shift, night by night.
For sure. Yeah, whatever y'all need me to do, bro, just let me know, gang. Alright, that's good. Little smaller. That's straight or more. Alright, bet that. I got you, brother.
We were slowly becoming more than friends. Of course, that meant our managers made sure we rarely ever saw each other. The way they'd put us at opposite ends of the store. I guess they didn't want two of their best employees to accidentally find happiness together. But that's beside the point. One night, Josie and I were working the same shift, but as usual, not together. I had to help man the self-checkout area, and Josie was holding down the clothing department by herself. It was late, enough for a bit of excitement to start building up in my stomach. Not only would I be home in a couple of hours, but the fitting rooms were closing any minute, which meant Josie might be free to come help near checkout as the last of the customers left the store. However, I momentarily forgot where I worked. Walmart, a place in which even a fleeting moment of joy is easily destroyed. I had just finished checking someone's receipt, making sure they correctly scanned in their 8 cases of diet soda, when I waved them on and looked toward the entrance to see an unsavory sight. A large, sweaty, shirtless man was clobbering his way into the store.
EDP.
He didn't actually run into anybody, but he looked like he was either on something or off his rocker completely. Still, I had to step away from my station and tell him something important. Sir, stop. You can't be in here half naked. You have to put a shirt on. I'm going to buy a shirt right now, dumbass. Mind your business. I didn't feel...
Bro. If anybody talks it, I ain't gonna lie, look. If you working at a store, okay, not speaking from experience, but if you working at a store and somebody come in with no shirt and they talking about something, I'm gonna buy a shirt. That's all I gotta say.
there was much of a choice for me but to let him slide. The guy was way bigger than me, so I didn't want any trouble. Reluctantly,
He low-key got Kai's head. He got Kai's in that head. Look at it. Look at that dome.
I returned to the self-checkout area, trying to focus on the people there. I was at work. I didn't need to be a hero or anything. I just had to do what I was supposed to do and let the people in the clothing department handle that guy. A few seconds too late, it hit me. Josie was running the clothing department, alone. And right as I had the realization, I heard Josie scream. I immediately made a break for it, running as fast as I could. I got to the clothing department seconds later.
Why, nigga, leave, bro? Forget your coworker.
But I didn't get there in time. I didn't save Josie. All I managed to do was to get there just to be able to watch as that freak. He had this giant red knife in his hand from God knows where. He grabbed Josie and stabbed her. I saw the life drain from her eyes as she collapsed. The man fell on top of her, pulling the knife out just to take it into both hands and plunge it straight down, right through the center of her neck. I thought I must be having a nightmare, a hallucination, something. It couldn't be real. It all happened in 5 or 6 seconds, and just like that, Josie was dead. Even if I hadn't been frozen in shock, I couldn't have stopped him. No one could have. That man was a monster. And then he craned his neck back to look at me, his face and mouth soaked in Josie's blood, his eyes full of such pure evil. They couldn't have been human. Why? She wouldn't stop following me. Now why can't you just leave me alone? The man started...
You gotta tell me twice, gang. I'm out of there. Gone.
It coming toward me. I wanted to stand there and fight him or die and join Josie, but I was too afraid. My instincts took over and I ran like a coward. I could barely breathe through the tears, and somehow, that man was way faster than he should have been. A few more seconds, and he might have caught up and granted my wish. But at the last second, I realized I was running straight for a bunch of cops. I panicked and ducked, tripping over myself and sliding across the floor. The next instant, I heard a gunshot. A bullet flew right over my head. It made my ears ring, but when I could hear again, I heard the clicking of what I realized was a taser. I looked back and saw the man collapsed and rigid on the floor not far from me, as the electricity coursed through his body. Too little, too late for some, but it was enough to help the cops arrest him and put a stop to the madness. Later, we found out the man had stolen a knife from the nearby Walgreens. The cops showed up so early because they were already looking for him, but they didn't expect the theft to turn into what it did. According to the police, the man said he killed Josie because he thought she was some sort of demon, something that had been stalking him for weeks, tormenting him. I knew it had to be madness. No sane individual would mistake Josie for a demon. No decent person would ever take her away from this world, away from me. A Walmart employee in Arkansas was taken out by a man who allegedly told authorities that he was being stalked by a demon around 10:58 p.m.
Is this based on a true story? Refuse to believe that's based on a true story.
Officers were dispatched to a report of a man stabbing a woman inside the store. Officers arrived and encountered 37-year-old Cedric Ross, who was still armed with a knife. During the encounter, officers gave Ross multiple commands to drop the weapon, but he did not comply and came toward an officer while still armed. In response, one officer fired one shot, but missed. Another officer then used a taser, and Ross was eventually taken into custody. The victim, Jordan Drinkwater, 32, died at the scene from her injuries. During the investigation, Ross allegedly told law enforcement that he had stolen a large knife from Walgreens before the attack and a machete from Walmart for protection because he said a demon was stalking him. He described the demon as a light-skinned black woman with brown eyes and a weave whom he had only seen at a distance. While at Walmart, he said he allegedly grabbed the demon and began stabbing it in the neck and shoulder in an attempt to kill it. However, after the stabbing, he looked down and realized that the victim on the ground was not the demon he thought he had saw. Authorities said Ross was not employed by Walmart and was not known to Drinkwater and had no interaction with her before the attack. Ross is being held without bond and charged accordingly. The night began just like any other night spent working at Walmart. I was already looking forward to leaving. I kept dragging myself through the shift on the promise I made to myself that I'd get utterly wasted the second I got home. I know that's a very unhealthy coping mechanism, but it will become obvious why it's become my method of choice for unwinding after a long day of work. At around 10 p.m., a particular woman walked through the front entrance. She didn't grab a cart or a basket, nor did she seem capable of doing so. She had that telltale twitch of a tweaker. I couldn't tell what kind of drug she was on, just that she was on it. To try and ease the tension, I gave her the best customer service late-night Walmart has to offer.
Welcome in, ma'am. Can I help you find anything?
Oh, find your nutsack and suck on it!
Okay.
Failing to reach the woman on a personal level, I began treating her like a shoplifting suspect. She was clearly too deranged to be left to wander around on her own, especially since we were short-staffed. I had a feeling the police would need to get involved if we had to remove her from the store. She was in her own world. To be honest, I was curious what she would even go for. It gets boring at night, and sometimes I like to play a little guessing game. What are the freaks going to steal this time? Food? Tampons? Deodorant? I've even seen them go for adult diapers a couple times. Turns out, I was wrong in every regard. She wasn't trying to steal anything. She crept all the way over to the bakery, where she stared at the bread shelf for several minutes. She looked over her shoulder, but she must have been too nearsighted to see me, as I wasn't even trying to hide. Then, she started digging through her hair. I rolled my eyes, thinking she probably had lice or something, but she pulled something out, something much larger than a bug, yet still too small for me to identify. She didn't stash it on her person like merchandise though. With sudden dexterity, she opened a bread bag and inserted whatever it was between 2 slices of a loaf. I wasn't sure what I was seeing. The corporate drone in my brain couldn't compute. She wasn't stealing. She was adding to the shelves. I had to see it happen again to make sure I wasn't going crazy and seeing life playing out in reverse. A few seconds later, she reached into her pants. I was certain there was nothing in her hand before it went in, but when it came out, she had something small and grayish brown. I still couldn't tell what it was, though I clearly saw her stick it into another loaf of bread. So I knew it was time to ask her what she was up to. I didn't want to confront her like a security guard. I just wanted to begin the process of getting her out. I didn't realize how quickly things would escalate.
Excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but notice you just put something in that bread. Would you mind telling me what it was?
No, you didn't see anything. Please don't tell anyone. I have to do this.
I'm sorry, but you actually can't do that, and I will have to ask you to leave.
And if I don't?
Why she got so many teeth? 1, 2, 3, 4. One big 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. She got 37 teeth. How many teeth are you supposed to have? How much teeth? 32, bro, she bugging.
Then I'll be forced to call the police.
Okay. You wanna know what I put in there?
Yes, I do.
Take a good look.
Out of nowhere, that bitch pulled out a rusty razor blade and slashed my arm. If I hadn't blocked, it would have gone straight to my face, but that didn't stop her from trying to cut my eye out. She lunged at me, swiping that razor through the air.
Again. Gone. Feel me?
Then she jumped on top of me. I fell back, smacking my head on the ground. I was focusing everything on trying to keep her from getting me with the razor, but I still felt it slicing through me all over my body. I was screaming for help and trying to keep my mouth shut at the same time, so she didn't shove it down my throat. After what felt like forever, I finally felt her weight get pulled off. She howled and shrieked as my coworkers worked together with all their collective power to restrain her. Even some customers came to help. It took everyone to rein her in. The cops came very soon after and locked her in handcuffs. Upon investigation, it was discovered that psycho woman had been stuffing razor blades into pastries and loaves of bread all night. Not just at my store, but at several other Walmarts in the area too. That's what those things she had stashed in every crevice of her body were. Rusty razor blades. I don't know what in her insane mind possessed her to do such a thing, but I don't think I'm capable of understanding. As for the fallout, the regional manager threw out everything in the bakeries made that day and sent out a message to the public warning all customers to do the same with whatever they had purchased. Luckily, nobody bit into any rusty razor blades because of that woman. As for myself, well, she didn't hit any major arteries. I got stitched up and poked with a dozen booster shots for tetanus and hepatitis A through Z, and whatever else she might have been carrying. I'm getting my blood work done again soon to see if I've been infected. Police in Mississippi have arrested 33-year-old Camille Benson.
That's her? Ugh.
After razor blades were found hidden inside loaves of bread and other baked goods at 2 Walmart stores in Biloxi, authorities charged her with attempted mayhem.
Wait, that's not the same person. Chad, that's not the same person. Am I bugging? That can't be the same person. Look.
Was in Biloxi. Authorities charged her.
That's not the same person, gang. That's not the same person.
With attempted mayhem and set her bond at $100,000 after customers reported finding the sharp objects in bread purchased from both the Walmart supermarket and a Walmart neighborhood market. Surveillance footage and police statements led to her arrest
Y'all see? That's not the same person.
on December 16th, and Walmart said it removed and inspected all potentially infected products at the impacted locations. No injuries have been reported, but police
See? I'm telling you, not the same person.
urged anyone who bought affected items to check with them carefully and report any concerns. Working this dead-end job at Walmart, I have no desire to go above and beyond for my team, and I've already
Why are all these at Walmart, gang? Like, chat, y'all notice that? It's all at Walmart.
accumulated quite a few unpleasant memories that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Without a doubt, this is the worst one. It started on a Friday night. Barely anyone was around, but of course, that was merely false hope. Right at the end of stocking a shelf, I noticed a woman enter the aisle. I could tell she was looking at me, making her way toward me. The woman called out to me with a raspy and pitiful voice, forcing me to make eye contact.
Sir, can I please use your bathroom?
I'm sorry, but we already closed the bathrooms.
I know. I'm sorry. But it's an emergency. Can you unlock it for just a few minutes? I promise I'll leave before you close.
I mean, I could get into trouble.
Please, you gotta understand, this is the last chance I have to go somewhere that's safe. If I don't go now, I'll have to do it outside. And the last time I did that, I got attacked, and I just can't.
Okay, fine. You don't have to explain all that. Just follow me. The woman immediately began to thank me profusely, but I told her in the nicest way to save it. Helping her felt like the right thing to do, but it didn't make me feel good. Not wanting to be seen together by my co-workers, I quietly led her to a family restroom, one of the single-use ones. The woman entered the bathroom and locked herself inside. I walked away before anyone saw me. I didn't want to be associated with any potential incidents. Afterwards, I went back to what I was doing and continued my shift like nothing was out of the ordinary. Really, nothing was unusual. I finished stocking everything, helped clean up, then I left the store on schedule. When I got home, I briefly remembered the woman, realizing I hadn't actually made sure she left before the store closed. I didn't dwell on it though. I figured one of the managers had to have checked that bathroom on their final sweep and dealt with it. Unfortunately, the next day, I clocked in and noticed something disheartening after just a few minutes. The bathroom I had helped that lady into was closed off. There was an out of order sign right out front, and the door was locked. All at once, I felt a mix of emotions. I had made the mistake of taking pity on someone. I helped them out, and they took advantage of my kindness. They were probably spinning a sob story from the start. And for what? To do what every other junkie does? Lock themselves in the bathroom and get high, despite my feelings. I did my best to forget about it, unless I got written up for it. The whole thing really was just a minor inconvenience. Someone, hopefully other than me, would get stuck with the dirty job of cleaning up after the mess. Then the bathroom would reopen, and it would be all par for the course for Walmart. However, an entire day passed, and nobody went in. Then another day. Finally, on Monday, it was me. I got stuck with it. Now, I was pissed. Half at this drug addict who lied to me, and half at myself for believing her. As I gathered some supplies before going in, I kept thinking about how I would probably get called into the office right afterward, shown the footage of me letting her in, then slapped with some stupid punishment. If only that were the case. No repercussions I imagined would have ever come close to the reality I was about to face. I was wholly and completely unprepared as I walked up to that door. I inserted the key and turned the lock with my guard entirely down. Opened the door. I mean, as soon as it cracked, the foulest, most unforgettable stench hit my nose. If you've ever smelt it before, you know what I'm talking about. But this was my first time experiencing it, and I had no idea what I meant. I only hesitated for a moment before barging in. Swinging the door wide open, there was a dead person on the floor, a woman. The same scrawny, helpless girl I helped a few nights ago. She'd been trapped in there this whole time. Her body was bloated and leaking dark, festering fluids everywhere. I recoiled with every fiber of my being. I slammed the door shut, falling backwards away from the bathroom, and subsequently throwing up on myself out of pure shock. Suddenly, every bit of self-wallowing I'd been allowing myself was put into perspective. I didn't have a shitty life. That woman did. I was just a shitty person. Yet I'm still alive, and she met her end in a Walmart bathroom. The fact that the cause of her death was an overdose matters very little to me now. I was the last human face she ever saw, and all I wanted was to get her out of my sight. Surprisingly, I didn't face any charges, nor did I lose my job, but that doesn't alleviate the guilt. This incident occurred in June 2017 at a Walmart in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Catherine Caraway, 29, was found deceased in a single-use family bathroom at the back of the store on a Monday afternoon. Surveillance video showed Caraway entering the restroom around 6 p.m. on Friday, meaning her body remained in the locked room for approximately 3 days. A Walmart employee tried to enter the locked bathroom on Friday, and assuming it was broken, placed an out-of-order sign on the door without checking inside. The body was discovered when the bathroom was finally unlocked on Monday. While police initially did not consider the death suspicious, a later autopsy indicated the cause was related to difluoroethane toxicity, often from huffing aerosol propellant.
Yeah, I don't like to see me go. It's okay. But I must. And damn. I must go. I know I'll probably stream another day. Y'all lock in with the TikTok, the Twitch, the YouTube, and the Instagram. Y'all know when I'll be live. I'll be posting on there. Without further ado, I love y'all. God is good. God is great. Peace.
We got a whole lot of new money though.